Hi folks, welcome to today's video. This is notes number 2.1 for Unit 2 on the French Revolution. So today we are going to be talking about the context of the French Revolution, specifically the social structure that was in place before the French Revolution began, and that is the three estate system. So our goals for this video are really to just identify and explain what the three estate system was in France before the French Revolution. So, as always, right, we're talking about context. So, in order to understand why the French Revolution happens, we need to look at what was going on before, what might have led, what might have led to, something as huge as a revolution. So, life in France before the French Revolution had a very harsh and unfair social system. And when I say social system, think like social classes, right? There are always people that have a lot of money and a lot of power, and then people at the bottom who don't. And that is going to be what this is like in France. And this was called the three estate system. So each estate, you can think of it like that, is a social class. Now, at the very, very top, is the king and queen. They're not even a part of an estate. They're so high up. They are above everybody else. And as you remember from our last unit on the Enlightenment, they believed in that divine right. They believed that they were chosen by God to rule. So to them, they were above everyone else. They had absolute rule. The laws did not apply to them. Now, below the king and queen, starting in our first estate, we have the clergy. Okay, the clergy. And this is going to be the estate at the very, very top. These included church members. They were very, very wealthy. As you can tell from the picture, I know they look kind of strange, but they're dressed very well. They have a lot of money. Because remember, the church at this time, during the Enlightenment, is what is really in control. Not only are they very wealthy, they also do not pay any taxes. So they get to keep all of that money. And as a result, because they're associated with the church and because they don't pay taxes, they have a lot of power. And this is going to be an issue as we will see down the road. Now, they are at the top of our social structure. Since they're at the top, and they're in this little pyramid, there are actually the fewest amount of clergy. The first estate is the smallest estate in France. Right under the first estate is the second estate, and these are the nobility or the nobles. The nobles, their careers are being essentially landowners. They have enough money to own land and have people work for them. So they are very rich. They have quite a deal of money. They pay almost no taxes. They pay some, but they definitely don't pay many or pay much. They do keep a large portion of their money to themselves. And as a result of that, they too have quite a bit of political power when it comes to making decisions in France. And then finally, you can see in your notes that the third estate is actually broken up into two different categories. So we have the bourgeoisie and the peasants. So the bourgeoisie is actually French for middle class. So we're going to start there. So the bourgeoisie are the educated middle class. They're your doctors, lawyers, shopkeepers. Okay, so they do have some money. However, they don't have any political power. They are really not represented in government. And they pay a lot of taxes. So not only do they make, not a lot of money, they have to give most of it away in taxes to those upper estates. And then at the very, very, very bottom of the third estate, we have the peasants. And you did not want to be a peasant. As a peasant, you were very, very poor. For the most part, in debt. You had zero political power, even less than the bourgeoisie, which had like none. Okay. As a peasant, your job was to work the noble's land. So you worked the land of the second estate, and then all of your taxes went right back to them. So really, you didn't make any money. They were also then taxed the most out of all of the estates. So the group that gets paid least actually had to pay the most in taxes. So you might be able to start thinking about some of the issues that you might be seeing if you are a member of that third estate. It is also important to note, just like the first estate was the smallest, the third estate is going to be the largest, right? Occupies the largest section of our pyramid here. The third estate is the largest estate. It has the most people in it in France before the French Revolution. So that is the three estate system, very quick. So remember, your goal is to identify and explain the three estate system of France before the French Revolution. So just remember to answer the questions in Edpuzzle, record your score to the multiple choice questions, and get those correct answers written down. And if you have any questions, let me know. See you later, guys.